A house holds memories. Its walls absorb the echoes of laughter, the weight of tears, the silence left behind. But sometimes a house holds more than just the past. It holds secrets. Secrets that aren't spoken, but felt. In the quiet space between two breaths, in a touch that lingers a second too long, in the heat that radiates from someone sitting too close on a sofa in the dark. Today's story is about Thomas and his mother in law, Claire, two people bound together by a shared loss, living in a house that had become too quiet. But silence can be a dangerous thing. It creates a vacuum, a space for unnamed emotions to grow. This is the story of how a house became a world and how a secret, born from whispers and averted glances, threatened to become everything. Sound of a quiet house at night, a floor fan humming, the clink of ice melting in a glass. Her voice is still a ghost in my ear. I can't believe this. The thought loops in my head, a desperate mantra against the truth that is threatening to flood this room, to swallow the air, the melting ice in my whiskey glass, and what little sanity I have left. I set down my fork and take a breath. Mother in law. Calling her that feels clinical, a label that doesn't fit the woman sitting across from me. Claire. She smiles quietly, her delicate hands resting in her lap. Her face, though etched with the fine lines of grief, glows warm and pink in the dim light of the dining room. It's okay, Tom, she says. Her voice is like the scent of old books, familiar and lined with a gentle sadness. As she reaches for the water pitcher, her sleeve slides back, revealing a slender wrist. I watch her at the sink later, the overhead light glinting off the running water as she washes the dishes. Every time her long, graceful fingers brush against each other, my heart stutters. What are you smiling at? I ask. The word you feels too familiar, too intimate. Claire turns, a playful ghost of a smile on her lips. Nothing, just thinking you look so serious when you drink. She's pouring herself a small glass of white wine, her eyes locked on mine. Just a little, she says, raising the glass. Do you mind? The soft click of glass on the counter is the only sound. The cool liquid touches her lips, but the warmth in her gaze travels straight through me, settling deep in my chest. This house is so cozy, she says, her eyes drifting around the room. Emily had such a wonderful touch. Emily, my wife, her daughter. The name hangs in the air between us, a memory both sweet and agonizing. It's been a year since she passed, but the house is still full of her. Claire moved in 6 months ago, after the solitude of her own large house became unbearable. It's just temporary, she'd said, until I find something smaller. But 6 months have come and gone. Sometimes, she continues, her voice dropping lower, being too cozy is a problem. It makes you never want to leave. She looks at me, an unreadable light in her eyes. Do you ever feel that way? Like a place can be so comfortable it becomes a kind of trap? My own breathing suddenly sounds deafeningly loud. The breeze from the floor fan feels too strong. She stands, and her shadow stretches across the wall. She arches her back in a subtle stretch, and her long hair, a rich chestnut threaded with silver, spills over her shoulder, the ends brushing the back of my hand as she walks past. Sorry, she whispers. No, my fault, I reply, forcing a smile that feels brittle. She settles onto the sofa a few feet away from my armchair. The sigh of the cushions sinking seems to fill the entire room. The distance between us is only a few feet, but it feels like a canyon charged with electricity. In the quiet discipline of the night, I can hear the rhythm of her breathing and my own. I have an early start tomorrow, she says. Then don't worry about making me breakfast, I tell her. I can manage. I know, but I like to. Her voice is warm like honey. If it makes you happy. The temperature of her voice touches me more than the words themselves. Her eyes, no longer playful, are watching me with a startling seriousness. I have no choice but to laugh it off, a hollow sound in the quiet room. When she gets up to dim the lights, leaving only the small lamp in the entryway, the room is plunged into a thick, intimate darkness. As she passes by again, our sleeves brush. The whisper of fabric lasts only a second, but in that instant, I realize everything. My unspoken thoughts have reached a point of no return, and I am too much of a coward to go to bed. In the darkness of my room, my body is a finely tuned instrument of awareness, hypersensitive to her presence in the room next door. The thinness of the connecting door feels more cruel than a solid wall. The clock ticks 2 a.m., 3 a.m. Finally, I can't take it anymore. I slip out of bed and pad down the hallway. The faint, silvery light from the street lamp outside paints long stripes across the floor. I hear a soft rustling from the kitchen. Still up? I ask, my voice a rough whisper. Claire turns, a tired smile on her face. Couldn't sleep. You? Same here. She's holding a warm mug. I made some chamomile tea. Want some? As she hands it to me, the sweet floral scent mingles with her own personal fragrance. Our fingertips touch. A jolt, sharp and clean, shoots up my arm. Careful, it's hot, she says. Right. We sit on the sofa, so close this time that I can feel the heat radiating from her body. There's no clinking of ice now, only our breaths mingling in the silence. I hate sleepless nights, she says. Talking to someone helps, but then again, sometimes it just makes you more awake. She laughs, a soft sound that seems to melt into the deep shadows of the night. Our shoulders brush. The give of the sofa cushion pushes us closer together. The warmth of her body seeps into mine, a heat that is both comforting and dangerous. I could move away, but my body is frozen. No, I am frozen. Sorry, she whispers. Too close. No, it's fine. My voice comes out thin. Her breath ghosts across my ear. I take a sip of tea, pretending a thirst I don't feel. Hey, she says, her voice barely a whisper now. Why are you so nervous? I don't know. You can't know. In that moment, her hand covers mine where it rests on the cushion. Just for a second. But that second stretches into an eternity. I stare down at our hands, speechless. She doesn't look away. You can't leave. But I could stop it. The question hangs in the air. The silence that follows is the answer. The fan oscillates, its quiet hum the only sound. A strand of her hair caught in the breeze brushes against my cheek. My heart is beating so hard it hurts. She stands and dims the final lamp, leaving us in near total darkness, illuminated only by the faint moonlight filtering through the window. I should really get some rest, she says, her voice trembling slightly. As she walks down the hall, she pauses, turns back, and says my name in a small voice. Tom. The sound lingers in the darkness, a warm hand squeezing my chest. The sleepless night is far from over. I don't know when I finally drifted off, but when I wake, the weak morning light is struggling to get through the blinds. I feel more exhausted than when I went to bed. At the end of the hall, a soft light is on. Claire is on the sofa, a small book open in her lap. You're still up? I ask. I like this quiet time, she says, smiling. She closes the book with a soft snap. More tea? I sit beside her. As she hands me the mug, our fingers touch again. My heart gives another jolt. There it is again, she says softly, almost to herself. What is? Nothing. But her eyes say something else. A lock of her hair falls from her shoulder and rests on my arm. It could be an accident, but I don't think it is. Being awake at this hour reminds me of when I was young, she says. You're still young. You're good with word, she says. But it's the truth. In the soft morning light, she doesn't look like a woman nearing 70. She looks timeless. Her eyes hold mine, and I see a flicker of something, a heat I can't hide from. I'm drawn into her gaze. Unable to look away, the sofa seems to pull us closer, the space between us shrinking until our arms are touching, our breaths mingling. If a woman wasn't interested, I begin, my voice low, she would move away, even just an inch. Maybe so, she says with a small smile, but she doesn't move. If anything, she seems to lean closer. In the quiet room, the only sound is the wind rustling the leaves outside. Her sigh is a soft sound next to my ear. You know why I can't sleep, don't you? She whispers. A shiver runs down my spine. I do. Her confession makes my heart ache, but at the same time, a voice of reason screams in my head. Get up! This is your wife's mother. But then her hand comes to rest gently on my thigh, and the voice of reason vanishes instantly. I don't seem to be sorry, she says, her eyes searching mine. Do you want me to stop? The words are trapped in my throat. Instead of answering, I just drink my tea. The silence fills the space between us, thick and heavy with unspoken things. Perhaps it's really time for bed now, she says, and we both laugh. But the laughter is shaky. As Claire stands, she looks back at me. Good night, she whispers, and the sound will echo in my head for the rest of the night. The next morning, the fever of the night hasn't broken. Claire is already in the kitchen. Good morning. Morning. Sleep well? Honestly, not much. Her smile tells me she feels the same. While we make breakfast, our fingers brush as I take a plate of sliced vegetables from her. Each time, the memory of the night before rushes back. Thank you. You're welcome. I feel a blush creep up my neck. It's warm in here. She gives me a knowing, challenging look. Behind that gentle smile is an emotion that can no longer be ignored or explained away. After breakfast, she carries the laundry basket out to the balcony. I follow her. The cool morning breeze is a relief. As I hand her a clothespin, our hands touch again. It's just a simple domestic moment, but it sets my heart on fire. It's a beautiful day, she says, pushing a stray, damp strand of hair from her forehead. I can't help but stare at the pale skin of her arm. That afternoon, we decide to watch a movie. We sit side by side on the sofa, the light from the screen illuminating her profile. My heart pounds with our proximity. As the film's score swells, her shoulder brushes against mine. I'm getting a little sleepy, she whispers. Do you mind if I lean for just a minute? Before I can answer, she rests her head on my shoulder. The warmth, the weight of her is dizzying. This is trouble. Just for a little bit, she murmurs. I lose track of the movie entirely. I'm trapped in this space, in the sound of her soft, even breathing. Finally, as the credits roll, she opens her eyes and slowly looks up at me. Our gazes lock. No words are spoken. None are needed. What I see in her eyes is a reflection of the heat in my own. And in that silence, our breaths merge into one. If we go any further, there's no going back. That premonition becomes reality. That evening, a sudden thunderstorm rolls in. The sound of rain lashing against the windows traps us in our own world. Looks like a big one, I say, just to break the heavy silence. Yes, she replies. Good thing we're not out. The conversation is superficial, but in our hearts, another dialogue is unfolding. Even when I love the sound of the rain outside, she says, almost to herself. Right now, I want to hear a sound that's closer. I take a breath. A closer sound? She looks at me, her eyes searching for something, like a heartbeat. Her hand comes to rest gently on my chest. I can feel my own frantic pulse beneath her palm. It's so fast, she whispers. Claire, I manage to say, my voice trembling. She shakes her head. Don't say my name. Not now. Those words become permission. A flash of lightning illuminates the room, and her shadow merges with mine on the wall. Someone could find out, I say. I know. Her breath is on my lips. But I can't stop. Neither can I. We've reached the point of no return. The rain grows stronger, as if trying to conceal our secret. And the night begins again. The next morning, the rain hasn't stopped. It's as if the world is trying to wash away the residue of the night, but there's a heat inside my chest that nothing can extinguish. When I enter the kitchen, Claire is quietly making breakfast as if nothing has happened. Good morning. Morning. We sit side by side, the only sound the clinking of our silverware. But behind the silence, the shadow of last night looms. Looks like we're stuck inside all day, she says. The slight tremor in her voice makes my heart start pounding again. We watch another movie, sitting on the sofa just like yesterday. But everything is different. The space between our bodies is smaller, and it's impossible to look away. Should we forget about yesterday? I ask. She shakes her head, a small, sad smile on her face. Can you? No. We can pretend, though. Even if we pretend, I say, my voice hoarse, our bodies will remember. The words hang in the air between us. The sounds from the movie fade into the distance. All I can hear is our breathing, too close. Then she touches me. Just a light touch on my arm, but it sends a shockwave through my entire body. Later that afternoon, the rain finally lets up, though the sky remains dark. As she hands me a fresh cup of tea, our fingertips brush again. I can't stop the shiver that runs through me. My fault, she says quietly. Yes. It's a short exchange, but everything is communicated. When we step out onto the balcony for some fresh air, our hands overlap as we both reach for the railing. Sorry. It's fine. This time, I don't pull my hand away. Accidental or intentional? I'm not sure anymore. I'm not going to pretend anymore, she whispers. The late afternoon sun breaks through the clouds, illuminating her face. Can we keep this a secret? She asks. We can. Really? Yes. At that, she closes her eyes and smiles. Well then, let's test it again. As the light outside fades, the heat inside the room begins to rise once more. We can't stop anymore. The following day is passed in a strange, dreamlike state. By day, we are a son-in-law and mother-in-law going through the motions of a normal life. By night, we are two different people, bound by a deepening secret. We go grocery shopping. To the outside world, we look like family, but the illusion is fragile. In the supermarket aisle, she reaches for a bottle on the top shelf. I reach over her shoulder and get it for her. Thank you. The proximity is intoxicating. Her scent fills my senses. We cook dinner together in the small kitchen. Our shoulders brush repeatedly, and each time my heart rate accelerates. This reminds me of the old days when I say, wait, when we'd all cook together in a friend's kitchen. But it's different now, she says, our eyes meeting over the stove. How is it different? I ask, though I already know the answer. That night, wine and unspoken words fill the space between us. I don't think I'll be sleeping tonight either, she says with a slow smile. The meaning behind it is unmistakable. As summer arrives, our secret feels heavier. The loud buzzing of the cicadas outside seems to mock the tense silence inside the house. Every accidental touch, every prolonged glance, is now charged with meaning. One afternoon, the doorbell rings. My heart stops. Claire quickly smooths her apron. It's just a delivery driver. But the momentary panic is a stark reminder. There is a world outside these walls, a world that would not understand. It's okay, she says after she closes the door. It's just us here. But I'm starting to worry. A few days later, while we're in the front yard, a neighbor stops to chat. You two seem so close, she says brightly. I freeze, but Claire responds calmly, yes, we lean on each other. When the neighbor leaves, I turn to Claire. That was too close. Yes, she agrees. But if we act naturally, no one will suspect a thing. But is that true? I see both fear and exhilaration in her eyes. That night, she whispers, I know this is dangerous, but that's what makes it exciting, isn't it? Her smile is a dare, testing my resolve. Then one afternoon, the phone rings. It's a relative. They're thinking of visiting next week. The blood drains from my face. Claire's face is pale. Damn it. Silence falls between us. Someone is coming to this house. That means our secret is at risk of being exposed. We have to prepare, Claire says, her voice eerily calm. We have to act as if nothing exists. But her hand is trembling. I gently place my hand over hers. It's okay. I'll protect you. In the days leading up to the visit, we clean the house, preparing. But every time we're near each other, the tension is unbearable. While adjusting the sofa cushions, our shoulders brush. I wish they weren't coming, she says. Me too. That fear drives us closer. The night before their arrival, she says, just for tonight. Let's forget everything. Under the moonlight, we find solace in each other's arms. Even if someone sees us, I whisper, I can't stop anymore. The secret is no longer about hiding, it's about burning. The next morning, the doorbell rings. It's a short, sharp sound, but it freezes me in place. The fever of the night is still in me, but now a different kind of heat is building. Fear and desire mixed together. I get up and walk toward the door. There is definitely someone behind it. As I place my hand on the doorknob, I feel a warmth on my back. It's Claire. She gently takes hold of my sleeve from behind. Don't forget, she whispers. The moment we open this door, everything changes. We won't be able to go back. My heartbeat thunders in my ears, a counterpoint to the knocking. I grip the doorknob. The knock comes again, insistent. When I turn back, Claire's eyes are on me. In them, there is a resolve that is stronger than fear. I take a deep breath, and the door remains closed. The answer hasn't been given yet, but this secret is no longer meant for anyone else. What is waiting behind that door? And which way will our fate tip? No one knows yet. The secret continues to be woven, even in the darkness, until the moment the door is opened. The door remains closed, but the story of Thomas and Claire has opened profound questions about love, loneliness, and the boundaries we set for ourselves. Was their connection a betrayal or an unexpected salvation for two lost souls? What happens when that door finally opens? And more importantly, what do you think they should do? We would love to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment below and share how this complicated story made you feel. If this story made you think, please hit the like button and share it. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you never miss another deep dive into the human heart. Thank you for listening.